If I can get my dog here to calm down. Go, no, Doug. No, go away. Go away. Go away. Well, good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining me. This is an unannounced one. This is going to be edited down into a regular podcast, but we figured we would do it live just because it's more fun that way, right? But joining me this glorious morning is my good friend, and I can say that. I can say good friend, James. Hello, James.
Howdy. Good morning.
Morning. Now we became acquainted because of Facebook.
And COVID.
Okay, hold on a second. Let me get the dog out. Finally realized he was trying to let me know he didn't want to poop on my floor, and I'm going to encourage that behavior in my
dog. That's good.
But anyway, no, early on, after the summer of 2020, when my videos really started taking off, that's where we became acquainted, and you started drawing cartoons of me.
Yeah.
And great stuff. In fact, we still use them. They're on our website. So, but over the time we've gotten to know each other, I've gotten to come and visit you at your house.
Yeah, got to go see a concert.
We've done a show. We've went to Styx and REO concert. We've had some good times.
Mm-hmm.
Had some good times. So why don't you, James, tell the world? Let's hear you. Let's talk about you, James. Where are you from?
I'm from California, from right here. I was born on the Lemoore Naval Air Base in 1970, so we're pretty close in age, me and you.
Yes.
And my father, after he got out of the military, was working for CDF, which then became Cal Fire. He was a captain. He's retired, and we moved up to the foothills. I was about in the 7th grade when we moved up here and to Murphy's, and spent went to grammar school, high school here, and then I got into being a chef, and started off here in Murphy's and ended up traveling to New Orleans and Naples, Florida, and then up into North Carolina, and ended up back again in Murphy's, and that's what I did most of my life was cooking. But early on, I'd been doing some cartooning here and there throughout my life for different people, little strips, little things here and there, and I'd pretty much given up on it. And then COVID came around and sent everyone home for extended periods of time.
Yeah.
And I think it was about 3 weeks into the first kind of shutdown that I started doing the cartoons again. And I'd done 6 or 7 of them and pretty much got to the point where I was just kind of setting it aside again and fading into Facebook zombie land, just kind of scrolling along with everybody else. And yeah, so saw that video of you and I shared it. And that wasn't the one that got copied and went viral. It was the one that you had posted, and that's how we got to know each other. Is you actually reached out and said, "Hey, thanks for liking my video," and went on from there. But yeah, so the last couple years, I got back into doing cartoons and got to meet a lot of wonderful people through you that said, "Hey, how you want to do me? Do a cartoon of me?" And
yeah, I've several of my comedian friends. You've done cartoons for them, and they just think the world of you.
I get to interact with them, every day. A lot of them still. It's just Jeff Wade and Soares and JD Fag. I mean, we we're always looking at each other's stuff, and it's been great. And then we had the thing happen with my son, so I've kind of been concentrating on that since
Yeah,
Christmas. So it's been a
yeah.
long road.
He's such
But
a smart young man. Such
yeah,
a
and he helps keep everyone positive because he's so positive himself,
Yeah. So now, how long is he? He was it's brain cancer, right?
yeah, brain cancer.
Brain cancer.
So he had a growth that was about the size of a tennis ball sitting on his, or about a golf ball, about 2-inch tumor that was sitting right on his brain stem.
Oh
And
wow.
so the way we noticed it was the pressure that was building. It started to turn his eye out. And
Oh,
it was his eye doctor that actually, discovered what was going on. And we went straight to emergency. And, within 24 hours, we were at Davis and they'd removed it. But it's he falls into the 4 or 5 category of brain cancers, which are the worst ones. But
yeah, yeah.
his particular cancer it didn't metastasize. It didn't spread. It was happy being what it was.
Oh, good. So it was very. So it didn't. It
So
didn't.
pretty much everything we're going through is preventative. It's to make sure that there were no free floating microscopic
Oh,
anything that's going
okay.
to attach and start up again.
I
So
got.
it's kind of like, having termites and thinking you killed them all, but to make sure you burn down the house once a month and rebuild it.
Oh, I got you. I got you. Yeah,
So
that's.
that's
Yeah, I was worried when you posted. I'd first learned about him having brain cancer. I really, really concerned. I have my youngest sister, Kathy, had a brain tumor, um, and she had to go through surgery. And it was so invasive. I mean, it was one of the ones that it was real late stages, and it gone just it was spread
everywhere.
everywhere. Fortunately, they were able to get it all out, but she's lost some motor skills, but mentally she's still there. She's still the funny person. It just takes her a little while to say what she wants to
Yeah.
say. It's funny. I like texting messages to her because it's like, look, it's easier to communicate with you with the texting because you don't have to keep asking you to repeat yourself. But she's it was amazing because they said that she was not going to be able to walk or take care of herself. That basically she was always going to have to be cared for. And my mother took on the challenge and took care of her for that first year or two. And she got to where she pretty soon was able to use a walker. After not too long, she was able to start feeding herself, and
Yeah.
now she's up and moving around.
That's where Wyatt's at now, is starting to use the walker, with his braces. He had a small seizure right before they removed the tumor. So originally he had lost, use of one side of his body, but
Right.
over time he's regained the use of his body
Oh,
again.
that's good. Well, being young enough, yeah, that young, I would think he was
Yeah,
able
yeah.
to rebuild.
The big thing is to get on the other side of the chemo, because then
Yeah,
he can really start rebuilding himself. But where we're at now, they just, as soon as he starts feeling better, they knock him back down again, and we're,
yeah.
so,
Oh, chemo is. Oh, it is.
yeah, it's
It
some
rough.
nasty stuff. And he takes it with a smile on his face. He sits there and he plays his, that's the other thing too, is legally right now he's legally blind.
Uh-huh.
But he has no vision in one eye and he's got partial vision in the other. But he sits there on his pad and he does parkour on Roblox, and he's doing stuff. He's doing stuff that I can't do with
Yeah, yeah.
with my vision. I don't have the coordination on that iPad or but so he kind of tilts it sideways and looks at it a special way, but he sits there and he plays that thing. And so it's amazing. The human body's an amazing thing.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yeah.
But it's just and then I'm dealing with, my little ticks are getting a little bit bigger with my Parkinson's, getting a little bit more stiffness on the one side of the body, the shoulder, pain, and a little bit of more memory loss. But whatever. I'm getting old anyway. Those things kind of come along with
Yeah, it's part of the deal anyway. It's like
part of the deal anyway. So, but yeah, my deal is kind of like your deal. Just I'm gonna be happy anyway. I mean, every moment we've got is a gift, and it's all you got. You don't know if you've got the next moment, and you can't do anything about the ones that have passed. Just so
absolutely
be happy.
absolutely.
Being in the hospital all the time, really puts things in perspective for us, because it's, you be thankful for whatever is going on with you. There's always something far worse that could be happening, and you see that when you're in the hospital because it's all around you. So,
yeah, you go in there and you're, terrible.
He lost vision, but he can still see something. I'm thankful for that. He woke up and knew who we were. That's a miracle in and of itself, after having someone rooting around in your head. It's
yeah,
so,
they go and start cutting stuff out.
yeah, you just got to take every moment. Don't worry about tomorrow. I could go down and get hit by the dump truck taking my garbage out tomorrow morning. There's what anything I was worried about that was happening in the future after that point's not going to matter. Just
oh yeah, and that's that's one thing that's one message that I want to deliver, and I try as hard as I can, is just to get to people to realize that every day is amazing. I mean, just every time you wake up, this is a beautiful gift.
Yeah.
And opportunities to do, and your life could change, good or bad, one way or the other, at a moment's notice. Yeah, one of my weird pastimes is for some, I don't know why, but watching car crashes. Well, you're basically bad drivers. The videos where somebody passes somebody on the when they shouldn't be, and they get pulled over by a cop, and it's like you have that moment of But it's always interesting to me, watching those videos where somebody's just sitting at a stoplight.
Mm-hmm.
Everything's just fine. There's no problems. And then out of nowhere, a car loses control and just slams into them.
Yeah.
It's done absolutely not. They're just sitting there doing what they've done 1,000 times before. Maybe they're looking at their phone, talking to somebody, waiting for the light to change, whatever. And just all of a sudden, everything, whatever like you thought was important, it's over now. And, and it can happen so quickly.
And just everything changes. Everything, or like you've said, it's just over. So you got to be happy. You got to be happy in that moment, even if you're, the way I'm thinking about it these days is, even if you're doing something that makes you unhappy, or you're feeling miserable, you just have to think to yourself, well, this is going to be over and I'm going to be happy again. And just in knowing that, you become a little happier in what you're doing.
This is a temporary thing. I'll feel what I got to feel, and then I'm going to move on.
I'm going to move on.
Yeah.
Because once I move on, I'm going to be happy. It's going to be eventually.
Yeah. Well, I have people who criticize me and say, well, you're being so Pollyannish. It's like, oh, yeah, everything's happy. And you're falling into the false delusion of happiness. And I'm like, no, that's not what's happening. And what it is just knowing that life is full of crap. Life has got its ups and downs, and things are good and sometimes they're bad. But just knowing that good times will still come. I'm still going to
Yeah.
experience good things.
Good
Yes.
times will still come, and it could be worse.
Yeah. And it's
You
not
know,
about that everything's going to be perfect, but when all's said and done, I know I'm going to be okay.
yeah. If you're playing poker and you get a bad hand, at least you're still playing poker. It's yeah, you could be getting beaten by a stick. It's a
Yeah. Absolutely. So you also do, but let's go back and talk about your cartoons, man.
yeah.
Because yeah, no, one thing that I've enjoyed about my notoriety, if you will, is being able to use this now to help some of my friends, my fellow comedians who I know are really funny, who don't get the recognition because they haven't had the chance to have something go viral. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? There's so many talented people in this world, and that, and I mean, that's comedians, musicians, like the group that you introduced me to.
Yeah, I'm a water tower.
Those guys are amazing.
Yeah, and they're all great, super positive,
Yeah.
talented guys. They kind of, go behind that same message of being happy, just enjoying every moment of their lives.
Yeah, I
So,
enjoyed the video they posted earlier this week where they were in a parking lot of a grocery store or something, and there was a
yeah,
guy over
yeah.
there playing something, trying to playing
We
all
were
my
in we
tips.
were in a Starbucks inside of a Safeway, and they did another video that I'm in. We were in the Starbucks, and Jesse pulled out his banjo and started playing it in the Safeway over in the Starbucks area. And one lady that was working this booth ended up coming out and giving us all cake pops. And
It's awesome.
but they caught that little video where Jesse was playing banjo, and then there was some weird alarm that went off at the door, and Joe was sitting there, and he was like, I knew they were coming. And they kind of pan over to me, and I'm just standing there smiling. But we had a great time, and then we did they did a Drew Kuchera enchilada video in the parking lot
Oh, Drew,
that
yeah.
night after the concert. They did a little impromptu enchilada rap for him.
Oh, that is funny.
So that was nice. But yeah, really, really, and that came from the cartoons too. I had seen an animated their anthem song. They had done an animated video. Someone did it for them as a gift, and Ray's, the singer from Black Flag, and then the drummer from the Germs, had sat in on the set that they had done, and then they had animated it all, and it was kind of a trip from Portland down to Echo Park in Los Angeles. And I shared that video, and Kenny Feinstein, who's the head of Water Tower, reached out and thanked me for sharing the video, and then saw that I did cartoons, and I ended up doing a cartoon of Kenny, and that's how we ended up being friends. And much the same as you, they ended up coming up to Murphy's and doing a show, and they kind of play pretty regular down at the pub down here on Main Street, and they've all got their own bands independently too from the main band. So
Oh,
there's always it's kind of become cool because one of them is usually going to be in town every couple months or so, if not all of them. So
yeah.
but I was lucky enough to see him in Sacramento. They'd done a big show up here at Bryce Station, and I was in Sac with treatment for Wyatt, so I didn't get to go to the show. That I kind of helped them set up and know the owner of the venue, and it was. But the next week they came on they were doing a Tuesday night show, and that was where I told you about the drag queen bingo night at
Oh, yes.
the place that they were playing, and it was the day.
I loved when you described it. It's like, yeah, there were all these really gorgeous,
They were fancy. They were all dressed up in their
fancy, and I was like, boy, these gals are really getting dressed up to go play bingo. And then you find out it's drag queens.
It's drag queen bingo. Yeah, I had no idea. I mean, and then it's like, then I look at the person that's reading the bingo chips, and you see the big white plume, the swan feather coming off the top of the.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, okay.
Just
Yeah.
the fact that drag queen bingo exists, I think.
Yeah. I mean, and they were having a good night. It was popular. It was it was a packed place. So, yeah. So that's how I got to know those guys, was once again through just kind of doing a cartoon, and then getting them up here and having them play. But so they played there, and it was the day after Wyatt gets this shot, and it's called Neulasta. It's like a real expensive shot, and right after he gets it, his white blood cell count just goes through the roof. So it's like the safest time for me to go out and do anything or be around other people. So it worked out perfect, because I was able to go out when his numbers were off the chart, and
oh, good.
and then they fall. We went yesterday. We had a day at home, and then we left yesterday at about 7:00 in the morning, and we got there to SAC, and it was about 7 hours in the infusion room yesterday. You got blood, you got platelets, you got magnesium, and but we were happy with that, because usually we would wait until Monday, and by the time we bring him in on Monday, he'd be so low that they wouldn't even have the time involved to give him what we need, and he either ends up in the hospital or we stay the night, one way or the other. So this time we're like, let's spread it out. So we'll get him back in on Monday, and he'll probably get the same thing he got yesterday, but he'll be in a good spot for the rest of the week. We'll be able to get 4 or 5 days in a row at home.
Yeah.
So
how is there anything you guys need? I mean, is there?
Oh no, the community here has just been awesome, and everybody has been awesome. I think we've got the Super Wyatt page. Carrie usually has a little wish list on there for things that Wyatt can actually play with. Things that are preferred. When it first happened, everyone started sending stuff. And it was kind of like for Christmas, we had a bike, under the tree for him. And, people are sending him stuff. And at that point in time, his vision has improved since everything happened. But originally he couldn't see much of anything. He's regained a lot. So people were sending just stuff that he couldn't play with. So we put up a list of, like, he loves kinetic sand. We play for hours and hours. At least once a day, he wants to have a session with me where we sit down, and we've got these little Roblox figurines and kinetic sand and slime, and we just kind of have a little adventure on the tray with the Roblox characters. In the cancer center, there's a lady named Miss Peacock, who is the arts director, and she's kind of just fallen in love with Wyatt. And so they do that also in the center. She'll bring over different scented kinetic sands, and they've got this whole slew of characters they play with, and they have their little adventure there. I play with them for a little while, but usually I'm like the third guy. I'm the third man. I'm third wheel. I'll back off and let them do their thing, because he's like, come on, Dad, I'm playing with Miss Peacock. You just get out of the way. Let me do my thing. So yeah, we got that page, and there's a GoFund and a Venmo there. They're doing a big softball thing here coming up in a couple months locally that they do every year, and we were one of the 3 families that got chosen here locally. It's a big fundraiser. So it's been, we've been living off of basically the charity of our community till we get on the other side of this, and Carrie goes back to work. I'm in the wheels turning thing going right now with my disability for my Parkinson's. So I'll be doing the Social Security thing, and then doodling, setting.
Very talented doodler.
Go back to setting up some shows and things up here, and bringing some fun to our already fun community.
Yeah, that was fun doing those shows. It was kind of funny because it was like it was originally you'd set the show up at a winery. Remember
Yeah, yeah, and the
that?
owner actually, she just reached out to me last night of Aloria, where it was originally supposed to, just asking if there was anything we needed. You
Oh, that's
know,
nice. That's
yeah,
nice.
Sherry. Remember, you got to meet her briefly at the Styx concert too. She ran up to us on the
Yeah.
sidewalk there when we were going to our seats.
Yes. Yes.
Because we had good seats. So
You got really great seats. Yes.
yeah. So and then yeah, it ended up being at the Hideout in Vallecito, and that was so much fun. It was
That was a real fun night.
Then we had a little private birthday party on the deck after that. So that was, yeah, it was good times. I thoroughly enjoyed that. Everyone, you got to meet most of my ragtag band of misfits that I hang out with you got to meet Mike Doyle, who's everywhere. Take some
Yes.
pictures with him
Yes. The
and
famous Mike
Christopher
Doyle.
Butner and all these characters that are.
There's a lot of interesting people.
Yeah, we got some interesting folks here in this little town. So
Now, Mike. So people who don't know outside of there, but Mike Doyle, they have a Facebook page of sightings of Mike Doyle.
yeah,
Right? Is that's the guy?
yeah, Mike Doyle's everywhere is what it's called,
And he was.
and they just made the website, but this has been going on for years.
Yes.
Where people just take a picture and they'll put Mike Doyle sighting or and I did cartoons of him and Jim too. That was the local cartoon. It used to hang in the bathroom wall and at the pub. The wanted poster I did of him and Jim.
That's funny.
Those two bounce off each other, quite a bit on the Facebook. They get people laughing. Anything that's getting people laughing is a good thing, as long as it's healthy, happy laughter.
Yes. Laughters are wonderful. Wonderful.
But yeah, I get what you're saying. It's kind of like with your page too, that people just kind of lose track of the like I've been moderating, your your overflow page there on Facebook for going on a couple years now, and people lose sight of like what we were talking about earlier, that there's everywhere else in the world and on the internet where you can you voice your well, I ain't gonna call it garbage, but voice your negative stuff, your stuff that gets negative reaction out of most people or causes controversy, or and you've always been about, and that page has always been about kind of being a safe place. It's
a chance to get away from all that stuff.
Yeah, because you can go anywhere, and it is everywhere. It's it's everywhere. Most places that you can go to, or most even just general conversations on anything you see on social media is going to you're going to come across some kind of negative spot where people are just unhappy and not treating each other well. And
yeah,
you need a place to go where you can be happy and leave all that stuff at the door. Laugh. It's supposed to be about being happy, laughing, and enjoying yourself, not and not at anybody else's expense. Just
yeah, just good laugh and have a good time.
have a good time. Yeah, what makes you smile? What and so yeah, you run into that a lot. You got a lot. There's a lot of those, a lot of bots and copied pages and advertising you got to sift through too.
Oh yes, yeah.
It's like, who is this person? Well, let's see. They have updated the same profile picture twice a day since 2018, and posted nothing. Uh,
But they're making a negative comment on my
yeah, yeah.
reason.
But yeah, man, that's just it. We gotta, and you do the good work. I mean, keep it up. I just spent, a year just bouncing off of you with the cartoons. It started as the strip, and then it got. You just never know what people are gonna like. You told me that way back when, and
Yeah.
that's kind of like what I'm finding out right now. That Creek video I did of you.
Uh-huh.
I posted that right after I did it, and it, a couple people looked at it, but it wasn't a big deal. And then I posted it 4 days ago, and it's hit like 13K. It was at 13K last time I looked at it. And it's the same video, and it's the same thing, but a year later.
Well, they say there's algorithms and ways to tell when to post or what to post, and I think it's all just a crapshoot. Because
it's a crapshoot.
I'll post a video and it will get hardly any views at all, and then a week later I'll repost it, and then it just takes off.
And it just takes off. Yeah.
Then it. So
or you post something and you think yourself, this is going to be solid gold. They're going to love this, and nobody looks at it. And then you post something that you're like, God, I shouldn't even put this up. It's stupid. And everyone's like, I love it.
Love it. Well, most recently I was doing one. I was out at the lake and I was making some videos, personalized videos. People have me say happy birthday and stuff to their friends. And so I was out making some of those videos, and I was there. I was adjusting the camera, and as I'm sitting there looking at it, I'm going, I like the angle on this. I look really good right at this point. And I thought I should make a quick little video. And I couldn't think of any, I don't know what to say. So I just thought I'd just tell people to go be weird. That was it. It was like a real short video. Just go be weird. It was, in my mind, it was a throwaway video. It was like, I'll just post it. It won't, it'll be silly. A couple people will get a chuckle out of it. Nothing big. Yeah, it's going through the roof.
Through the roof.
It's blowing it up, blew up on TikTok and Instagram like nobody, like nothing else. And the audio from it's being used like thousands of times. And it was just a silly little throwaway thing. And yet I'll sit down, I'll write something out and plot it out, and no one cares.
No one cares.
They're still right. It's like, that's why I say just do it anyway. Whether you think it's good or bad, don't be the judge. That's the biggest thing about art is if you just create it for the sake of creating it, just do it because you enjoy it. And then just release it to the world, and then just let it become whatever it becomes.
Yeah, you just got to get past your your opinion on your own.
Work.
You just got to
get out of your own way.
Yeah, you're always your worst critic, and why don't let your worst critic have anything to do with it. Just fire it out there, because I think way back when you said that about the Clyde video too, with the tree, that you almost didn't even post that because you you were just like, no.
It was one of the dumbest videos ever.
It was dumb.
People just took the Clyde. I gotta go. Clyde is in he's in a park near my mother's house in Gallatin, Missouri. And so when I go visit my mom,
you go visit Clyde.
I go and hang out with Clyde for a second or two. I gotta.
Yeah.
So if you see me post a video with Clyde, just know I'm in Missouri.
You're in Missouri.
I'm visiting my mother.
Yeah. So I don't know. That's about it, man. We're kind of on the same page as far as life philosophy is concerned. You've helped kind of get me to that point. I was, I was about to just ditch the whole thing until.
Well, that's what I find is that most people, they have a philosophy, but they don't know how to explain it. They don't, you know what I mean? It's like they feel it and they kind of know it, but they don't know how to express it. And what I've been able to do is um, basically help people understand what their own philosophy is. Because we
Yeah.
all pretty much have the same view, you know, because it's a very realistic, a very pragmatic way of viewing the world.
Yeah.
And when you hear it, and it's solidified in your mind as to exactly what it is, it makes it easier because
Yeah.
you go back to that and you understand, hey, I don't need to take all this so seriously. It's okay
Yeah.
if I feel bad for right now. It's okay, you know. When you hear it, and then you know, it's like, okay. It's like I tell
Yeah.
people, truth resonates on a higher frequency,
Mhm. Yeah.
and that's why when you hear it, it makes you feel good.
And whatever you do, just you know, everybody's got something. Everybody's got something that they do well. It doesn't necessarily have to be, you know, art or comedy, but everyone's got something. It's another thing you tell people, just do it. You just need to do it.
Just
And
you got a passion, you got an inkling, just
yeah.
get out there and do it, man. Have
And
some
if I hadn't have been doing it, I want to be sitting here talking to Rodney Norman right now. I'd be
fun.
got some OJ. That's
Yeah.
another thing that's important, you know, that I agree with you on is hydration. You have to keep hydrated.
Yes, you do.
Nothing works right unless you're hydrated.
Well, it's a dirty little secret. If you want to lose weight, drink lots of water.
Water. Yeah. Lots
Because
of water.
one, it keeps everything flowing properly.
Mhm.
Plus, when you drink water, your metabolism increases because your body has to do something with the water. And your water is the one thing that is in every part of you. And so when you drink water, every part of you is activated. It's an amazing thing.
Yep.
Water is, if you really understood what water does for you,
You drink a lot more of it.
you would drink a lot more of it. So
Yeah. Yeah, so it's been fun. I loved it in the beginning too. We had like that time where people thought that you were doing the cartoons, and I was like a alter Rodney ego for like promoting product and things. That was
that was funny. People thought that I was drawing those cartoons. I was like, no, I have talents, but not that.
yeah. And then I had people locally thinking that I had just gone completely insane, and you know,
Right
I had people reaching out to me too, saying, you know, James, I like your cartoons, but you're going to get into some copyright trouble or something. You're going to end up getting, and I'm like, no, I know them. And they're like, sure you do, James. Sure you do. You know, and then after a while, they started seeing us actually interacting, you know, and we're like, oh, wow, he does, you know him.
Yeah.
And it was kind of the same thing up here with Water Tower. I was like, well, you know, I got these friends from Los Angeles, and I, you know, showed them like the anthem video, and they're like, sure, James. Yeah, they're going to come up here and play, and blah, blah, blah. And then they showed up, you know, and they just shook Main Street, and and then they're like, how do you get to know all these people? And I drew cartoons of them. They're nice people. You talk to people, and they're
yeah,
they're on the same.
That's the good part of social media, is being able to meet people. You know, I live
that are like-minded.
California. We're as far apart as you could possibly be.
Yeah.
Geographically, but here we are, good friends, being able to communicate through. You know.
Yeah, being able to talk to one another. It's yeah, I can't wait till you're back over this direction again. You know,
I will say this: it was fun when I was there meeting everybody. If for no other reason than just the look on their face of going, "Wow, you really do know him, James." Wow. I felt like I felt like they were meeting your imaginary friend.
Yeah, yeah.
It was kind of fun.
It was. It was great. And then and I love flying out and seeing you guys,
Oh yeah, you came up to the show in Ogden.
that was great. And that's where we, first met too. And I was just like, I was these people are actually gonna pick this crazy guy from California up,
yeah,
and
picked up at your hotel.
had Teresa pick me up. You'd gotten stuck on a plane the day before, so Teresa came and got me. I think that was that the fruit snacks video you did when you were?
Um, was
I
that
don't
no,
remember, but you
no,
were stuck in an airport the day before.
yeah. No, the
But
fruit snacks was a trip I was going to Vegas for.
yeah,
But yeah.
yeah. I think I don't remember, but I remember you got stuck the night before, so you hadn't gotten in until really late. So Teresa came and got me and brought me to Ogden, and that was great. Got to see the two shows. We got to hang out, have lunch. I got your underdog shirt.
Oh yes. Yeah.
So that's awesome.
That's
I always love seeing the video that you're wearing it in too, because you've got at least one I know where you're wearing the green underdog shirt.
yes, yeah. Well, it's funny because after I gave that one to you, I bought another one because I love underdog.
Got to get the replacement.
Yep.
Yeah, and it's funny we end up with the same ones a lot. I think I've got the Flash, I've got the Ghostbusters, I've got
Yeah.
Scooby Doo, Tom and Jerry. I think, or we just shop at Walmart.
They got
we both just shop at the same places.
Well, no, it's funny the Ghostbuster shirt that you got on. When I was in high school and Ghostbusters came out, that was one of the first shirts I ever bought for a movie. That was of a movie was the Ghostbusters shirt. And I didn't have we weren't rich by any stretch of the imagination. And so when I bought the shirt with money that I'd made working at a scout camp over the summer, and it was my favorite shirt forever. And I never knew what happened to it. So when they came back with the remake of the Ghostbusters, and they basically just re-released the same shirt that you could get back then, I was really happy about it. I think I have 3 of them now because I was like, I love that shirt when I was in high school. It was my favorite shirt forever.
Yeah. Yeah, and of course I got my slew of Rodney shirts. So all the intoxicating masculinity and making your own reality, and got the original blue one with the white face, and that's where we really started interacting was when after I first started talking about it was more about illustrating your book, doing some illustrations for a book.
Yeah, well, you did we talked
and
about
then the calendar came along.
Yeah, the calendar.
And that was crazy because I did that in I think about 4 hours. It was
yeah.
Teresa was like, well, we need like a cartoon for every month, to go on the calendar. And I sat down and I just did sketches that were like roughs. And I was sending her pictures of them, and she's like, "Okay, we got what we need." And I was like, "Those were just doodles. I didn't even."
Yeah.
And into the calendar they went.
The calendar's become quite a thing. We're doing another one.
Another one. Yeah. Oh yeah, they're great. I mean, I had fun just doing all the crazy funny video editing with it. All the different pictures of you on it over the next year.
Yeah.
Animating my calendar and my poster.
Oh, nice. Yeah, we're gonna have another one out here fairly soon.
Yeah, they're awesome. People love them.
Well, awesome. Well, so how's Wyatt been doing this week?
He's doing good. I mean, like I said, it's rough right after the treatment. He gets you get him into a routine where he's starting to put on weight, and and look good again, and then the routine just gets thrown to the wind when the treatments start again. So he'll do 3 days in hospital, and we're also blessed enough to have the Ronald House right there on the campus.
Oh, they're amazing.
Within walking distance of the hospital. So and they've got a shuttle that runs back and forth too during the day if we need to bring him back and forth. It's always easier to do it that way than dealing with parking garages and all that kind of stuff. And
oh yeah,
but yeah, so he was happy too. The last couple days, his best friend there next door, Xavier, he's been able to see his buddy there for a couple visits.
Oh, that's good.
So that always makes him happy. And but he's going into that, he's in that 10-day zone right now that we're really getting into, which is like the 10-day danger zone, where we just kind of gotta watch him and isolate and make sure he doesn't get any bumps or scratches or bruises, because one little scratch and every single white blood cell he's got left just rushes to that area, and then he's got nothing left. So but it'll beginning of September, we should be just on the other side of it. He'll be done. I think total was like 48 chemotherapy treatments he'll have had by the time we're finished.
Oh wow! And all
and
of
then
it
he had
preventative. I mean, the cancer's gone, right?
yeah, well, yeah, the actual mass is gone, so it's just preventative.
Any floaters?
Any floaters. You can't. They're microscopic, so that's the way it was explained to me. Even they do spinal taps from time to time, and they check the fluid, and he's been clear. But like they're saying, we could be taking the tap in this area and something microscopic could be up here, and we don't see it in the sample. So we just gotta keep hitting them with it. So, but luckily, like I said, 2 more trips and basically 1 more month, and we should get on where we're just building them up, just getting them to walk again, getting them to eat again, because he doesn't eat. That's the other thing. Everything goes through a feeding tube, so. And he'll drink some milk from time to time. He might take a bite of something here and there, but pretty much everything's Boost. Everything's going through that Boost and a blend of water and Gatorade for hydration, just kind of switching them back and forth all day. But they hit him with so much medicine too right after the treatment that it's hard to do that. They want you to feed him, but then they tell you, okay, you've got to give him 7 different medications when he wakes up in the morning, and
that's tough on anyone.
And by the time he's had all that, even with it going into a tube, his stomach doesn't want to have anything to do with it. It's just so he's looking forward to his taste buds coming back, like he says he talks about it, he thinks about what it was like to eat. But
like the taste things. Oh wow!
Remember when before this happened to my taste buds, when I used to eat a lot of this, and but even ice cream, he can't even barely handle ice cream. So cookies, he was a cookie monster, and just can't even do a cookie. So
let him know he's got a lot of love and support out here for him.
Oh yeah, we do. And like I said, he gets flooded. There's times we get back from being gone for 10 days, and this whole kitchen table will be covered with boxes, from people sending them stuff from all over. It's and like I said, a lot of your friends have reached out. They've helped both with the GoFund and with sending them toys and things. And
I've got a lot of just wonderful people.
Yeah, I mean, Kevin Dolan sent him a really, really nice care package. The soap star actor, and he sent him a big old slime and Battle Cats. He likes that game, Battle Cats. Send him,
Oh, wow.
plushies and all kinds of stuff. It's just been
Nice work, Kevin. Wow.
yeah. I mean, and he's got blankets from all the weird stuff he likes. Five Nights at Freddy's and uh, whatever he watches some YouTube show where it's kind of like Survivor, except it's like erasers and pencils and pens that are all five. I think it's called Battle for Dream Island. That's what it is. So
Battle for Dream Island. That's funny.
they've sent him. He's gotten Battle for Dream Island stuff and just all the time. He's always getting an outpouring. It's really, really awesome. Up there by the grammar school coming into town in Murphy's, they put up a big welcome home Wyatt when we first came home, and it was up for months. They changed it at one point to "We love you, Wyatt," but it was up for months. Every time you came into town, you saw that up on the hill. So it was it's humbling, and it's nice just to know how great everyone is. I mean, not only my own community, but like I said, I mean, people are reaching out from everywhere. It's all over the place. I've even got my one friend over in Africa. It's constantly,
Oh, that's awesome.
Constantly giving support, constantly leaving comments on everything. So, but we just, we bring everyone along on the journey. It's we decided early on, we're just going to be completely open with him about it. He's much too intelligent of a young man to try and pussyfoot around anything or walk on eggshells. He's just got to explain things to him, and so he's an amazing kid. Amazing kid. He's I know for a fact that I would not have handled any of this as well if I had been in his shoes. I mean,
at that age, and at that age, that I mean, I'm just in awe of how he's handled this.
Yeah, just keep on going and be just be as positive and as accepting of everything. There's
I mean, it's a lesson really to all of us. It's just
to all of us. Yeah, I mean, for a child not to have any kind of a pity party over what's happened, at 9. We, we need to take a hard look at that as adults, because
whatever it is that you think's bothering you, you think is a problem.
Yeah, and that's kind of how it happened with me too. I had just gotten that Parkinson's diagnosis, and it was 3 weeks later that wham, this happened, and it's and that's what I've had to do is I've had to concentrate on this. I'll worry about that when we're on the other side of this, but that's just not important. It's I've had a lot of people tell me, I just don't think you've accepted. It's like they want you to really to break down and to be miserable about what's happening to you, and it's like, no, I understand what's going on. I understand what's going on with me in my life, and I've made a conscious decision to not be that way about it.
If anything, it's truly grasping the reality of the situation is knowing that yes, this is difficult, but yes, life goes on.
Life goes on, and we've only got so many of these moments, and I'm not going to waste them.
Yeah, I mean, it's
sitting around, with him feeling. If you feel bad, he's going to feel bad.
Yeah, you got to be strong for him.
You gotta be happy. You gotta just be happy in everything, and hang on to it all. It's fleeting,
And it is.
And like you said, you worry about one thing, and why do it? Because like you said, I worry about my own a terminal illness, and then boom, this happens to your kid, and then you're worried about his term. You can't worry. It's just.
I mean, you go through that moment of why don't you give this to me instead of him?
Yeah, yeah.
Don't have him go through this. Let me go through this. I
Yeah.
would, you know what I mean? That's
I
how
have
you.
to say there was that initial moment, when you're in between two hospitals and it's all happening, and you have that, you do have that emotional breakdown, for a second, and then you decide, am I gonna continue doing this, or am I gonna, you know, you just gotta shake it off, realize, hey, you're still here. You're still here. Everybody's still here. You can be miserable about it, or you can be thankful for it and move on. Toughen up, Buttercup, like he used to say. Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's not going to do you any good wasting those moments on being miserable. You might as well,
No, it's not.
yeah, and
It's not.
push them out. It's your mind that stuff tries to get in there. Push it out. Think of a flower. Think of a fart. Whatever. uh,
Heart level
whatever.
focus.
Yeah, high level focus.
Awesome.
Yeah, I know, it's great talking to you. It's been a while.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've forgotten a time or two during this that we're doing a that we're doing a live thing. It was just like having a talk with Ronnie. Just
Yeah.
it
Well,
could be.
kind of what I wanted to do. I've been wanting to do more live stuff, do podcasts, and I'll do stuff where it's just me. But I just love sharing other people with other people. I love
Oh,
hearing other
thank you
people's
for having me
stories,
on here.
sharing them, and I think a lot of people, like I said, a lot of my fans, my community, have just jumped on board right off the bat with Wyatt.
Yeah,
Remember
yeah, everyone did. I mean, everyone
you
did.
told me about it, and I shared it, and just to see the outpouring, just everybody who just jumped on to help out.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, well, it was crazy. It was just a couple weeks before that I was looking forward to a visit from you, and things just kind of turned south quick.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
we were up in there. We were going to come by and visit, but
yeah,
because of his immune system, we had to
yeah. Well, I
avoid.
mean, before the actual tumor happened, right before Christmas, I think you did something down south on your own, and you were going to head up here and visit me, and
Oh yeah, yeah,
that was right around the time, that things started getting funny. You know, so I was like, yeah, probably not a good time for a visit, and it ended up being,
yeah.
ended up happening 3 days after Christmas. I think was when we ended up over at Davis for the first time, and
Uh,
so,
but
but
hey, he's doing well. You're doing
yeah.
well.
I've gotten used to living, that was another thing I thought about was because yeah, I don't know how you do it, because you move constantly. And,
Oh,
since this has happened, and, we do about 600 miles on the road a week, and, you're living out of a bag and never really knowing, are we going to be in Murphy's? Are we going to be in a hotel? Are we going to be at the Ronald House? Are we, and I thought to myself, this is what Rodney does all the time. I mean,
it's this time now where I'm just basically just taking the month off of July and just staying home.
yeah,
I haven't done this in years. This is,
yeah.
I mean,
You've
I'm
been
on
moving for a
vacation.
long time.
Yes, this has been amazing to just be home. You know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But like I said, you get to the point where you get Teresa with you a lot of the time. So, you get
Oh, that helps. Yeah.
that helps. Then it's kind of your home wherever you're at, as
Yeah.
long as you know, but you got the boys, I guess, probably everywhere right now, huh? Are
Well, I
they
got the two boys in Utah. My daughter's in Colorado, and then the one boy's here with us.
in Connecticut? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
He's got
I had fun with them too when they gave me the ride back after the show in Ogden there, that second show. That was That was a blast. The ride with your boys was
Yeah,
that was comical. We had a good time there.
they're good kids. Good kids.
And that was a good time in the airport there too, with your frisking and all of that on our way out. It was real funny. It was real funny how on the way there, when I was in California, I remember I'd forgotten my cell phone at home. I had to go all the way back from Sacramento to get
Yeah.
the cell phone, and then I almost didn't get on the plane because the reader didn't want to read my ID, and all of that stuff happened. And then on our way out, you gave me a ride to the airport, and you were flying out of the same airport. I got to meet Stubbs there with you, but
Oh yeah.
you left your phone in the car, and Teresa left, and we had to get her to bring the phone back, and then I went right through security, and they like yanked you off to the side.
Oh, I think I feel like I need to send them postcards. We got pretty intimate there.
Yeah, it was pretty funny too. I always find it comical too when something's happening to you, and I'm standing a couple feet away, and I've got a T-shirt that's got your face on it. That happened at the REO concert too when we were going through security. Remember, and the security guard looked at me, and they looked behind me because you were right behind me in line. And you got him on your T-shirt.
Okay.
Good times.
Good times. And look forward to many more, my friend.
Yeah. This is great. Yeah, anytime you want to do this again and hang out and talk, I'm up for it. I had a really, really good time.
Sure
This
we
is
will.
I think my first.
We need to set up a show. I need to come there and perform again.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. And like I said, I got some perspective things definitely for next summer.
Yeah.
Looking at kind of a more of a kind of a festival situation. It seems to be brewing, which would and that's what everyone said too when you did the show up here at the Hideout, was they wanted to keep having fun. They see you, and they want it to keep going. And with most comedy clubs and places and things, it's like, okay, it's over, you guys go home.
Yeah.
So everyone's like, we need a band, we need music afterwards, we need something that we can keep going. So hopefully that we can get that going, for sure.
I find it funny. That's my biggest request for live performances right now is hosting of festivals. Hosting music festivals. They want me to come and perform, and then also do stuff in between the acts, and just hang out. I'm like, sweet. I got one coming up in Florida in October.
Nice. Yeah, it's the perfect combination. I mean, you get them all in a great mood. And at that point, usually they've had a couple drinks, they're in a great mood, they got all those happy little things being released in their brain, and then all right, now we got music. Or they don't want to stop if you don't have the music. I think we were probably almost 2 hours outside the show you did there in Vallecito. Just they want to keep hanging out, they want to keep engaging. They want to.
Everybody's having a good time. Nobody wanted to leave.
I think it was Bobby Bedker was talking to you the most. They couldn't get enough of you. They were. We need to get him, in one of the local barn parties here in Vallecito and get.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah, and people have expanded on you. Now they looked at the old. I think that's one of the first things that I remembered was, well, when I first saw that first video of yours, of course, I told you, I realized that it was a character that you were doing, and you had told me, well, a lot of people don't get that, a lot of people don't understand, and then I started looking at your old stuff, and you realize, I've seen this guy. I've seen this guy probably, for the last 20 years. I've seen this guy on and off. He didn't have the beard.
Yeah.
I think one of the a Subway commercial you did really, when I saw that, I'm like, I watched that. I don't know how many times I saw that,
Oh, that's funny.
but yeah, so it was like, you'd always been there. You'd always been around.
Yeah, well, it's funny when they say, "Oh, it's an overnight success," and I said, "Well, yeah, but it took me 30 years."
Yeah, it took you 30 years to get the overnight. It took 30 years in a pandemic
Yes,
to get people to pay attention.
I had to wait for the entire world to stop stare at their computer screen till I could finally get their attention. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
now that I have you here,
Well, it worked.
awesome. Well, hey, it's been a wonderful time.
Yeah, I enjoyed this, man, and like I said, anytime. Thank you so much. I mean, thanks for everything. I mean, the support, I get up, about 6 o'clock in the morning, over there at the Ronald House, and it's a great way to start your day on when you're in a hospital. Is just I know as soon as I turn that on, I'm going to see you saying something to me that's going to make me laugh or smile. It's going to be a better day after I, it never lets me down. So
awesome.
Well, take care, my friend. Thank you for having me, and we'll be
you.
talking.
We'll do.
Thanks, Rodney.
All right, we'll see you. Hey, everyone. Thank you for joining me today with my friend James. Just a lot of people are familiar with Wyatt and James, and I wanted to give him an opportunity to tell his side of the story, give you an update on Wyatt, that he is doing well and they're doing well. Thank you for joining me this morning. I'll do more of these. In fact, if you yourself have an interesting story and you want to spend some time here with me, send me a message. Yeah, we'll see if we can we'll put something together. Check me out also, just so you know, check out rodneynorman.com. Let me put that up there. For future show dates and merchandise and all that kind of stuff, you can go there, get that stuff, or there. It's over here. So there it is. It's right there. There we are. But thank you for joining me. I'll be doing more of these. Also, I'm going to be posting more on Patreon. But find me, follow my channel on YouTube. I have all the videos that I've ever done. I post everything on YouTube, so it's all there. I'm also on TikTok and Instagram. Things are going well. People are amazing. I love you. Have a great weekend. And now I got to go put a fuel pump in my Nissan pickup. So that's what I'm doing with my day. And it's going to be fun because I love doing that stuff. Okay, so if you're in the Stafford Springs area and you want to come help me with my truck, you're welcome to come on by. But thank you, everybody, for the super chats, for the donations that you've dropped in. Thank you for being here. And you have a most wonderful and spectacular weekend. Okay, bye.